This is how my life truly changed. Was cool. I thought partying, smoking, doing drugs was cool, right? But in reality, none of that was really what I wanted to do. I was doing it for other people. I was doing it to fit in. I wasn't being a leader. I wasn't being a person who was responsible of my own life, right? I wanted others to like me. I wanted people to be like, "Oh, he's so cool." Right? But that wasn't my version of cool, right? That wasn't me. I wasn't being me authentically, right? And it got to a point where I even thought about selling drugs. But it was just a bad thought. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I think one thing that I always used to be obsessed with is fast money. How can I make money fast? How can I make money quick? I always knew I wanted to become rich, but then again, I look at creators nowadays, and whenever they say they make it in success, they always mention one thing, and that's have fun with the journey, right? That's all that matters is having fun throughout the journey because when you get it, yeah, you're gonna feel fulfilled at the point in time, but after a while, it just becomes normal. It's just like whenever you get that Christmas gift that you always wanted, and you unwrap it, and then for a week you're happy, but after 2 weeks you're like, oh, it's just normal, right? And that's how I'm looking at the journey, right? I don't care about the million subscribers right now. I just care about making good content. I care about providing value to the people who watch my content, my supporters, my fans, right? Um, that's what matters to me at the moment. But when I was in that stage of not knowing what I wanted to do, when I was in that stage of just feeling lost, um, I thought anything was cool, I should do. I thought if it's gonna make me rich, I should do it. But I never took the time to figure out the why I want to do it, right? I can explain different reasons on why I like making YouTube videos, why I like making videos, why I like content. But when it came to the other things that I tried, I couldn't tell you, right? I couldn't tell you why I enjoyed it, or I couldn't even tell you if I even enjoyed it, right? And I feel like the biggest part of fulfillment is actually liking what you do, right? Not hating what you do, not being in it for just the money, because whenever you get the money, you won't feel fulfilled, right? Whenever you get the money, you're still gonna feel a lack of, right? You're still gonna feel confused. You're still gonna feel lost, right? And that's one thing that I really thought about whenever it came to making a decision on what I wanted to do in life, right? I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew I didn't want to go to school because at the end of the day, right, working jobs, having somebody tell me what to do. Not only that part, but I have to do something I really like, right? Something I'm passionate about, right? Because I know if I'm passionate about it, I'm put in 110% versus something I just like and I'm gonna make money from, but I'm not truly fulfilled, right? I tried it, right? I've already tried it. I worked at a car dealership, right? And I had the potential of making six figures, but I quit because I didn't like it. I didn't like the repetitive work. I didn't like being there for 12 hours, right? My whole time working at the dealership, all I thought was like, damn, I could have been posting 2 videos right now. I could have made 3 videos right now. I could have been making content right now, but I'm here. Um, and that really changed my aspect. That changed my whole perspective and dynamic. Um, and this is just a video on how my life changed and how your life might change, right? If you didn't take anything out of this video, one thing that I want to tell you is focus on the now, right? I feel like oftentimes we get caught up in the future. Oh, I want the Lamborghinis, I want the Rolls Royce, because we get fed all this on our TikToks, on our Instagrams, all the brain rot, right? And it's frying your dopamine, and it's causing you to not take action. It's stopping you from enjoying the process. And in order to get it, you have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to love doing whatever it is that you do, right? You gotta love it, right? Because if you're just posting videos on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all that you care about is the followers, guess what? Whenever you don't see followers, you're like, fuck, I'm not gonna post no more. This shit's not working, I'm done, right? Instead of falling in love with, oh, how can I make this video better, right? That's where I'm at right now, right? For a long time, I was the person that I just talked about. I was the person who, oh, I want the video to get 1,000 likes, right? Buddy, I'm not there yet. You're not there yet. You haven't showed what you can do. You haven't showed any good ideas. You haven't made a good video. You're not there yet, right? And that's something that I want to just share to you guys is like, you got to focus on the now, and you got to focus on how can I get better, right? Michael Jordan wouldn't be Michael Jordan. LeBron James wouldn't be LeBron James. Curry wouldn't be Curry if they didn't just, play around with the basketball, right? If they weren't dribbling, if they weren't shooting every single day, right? If they didn't put in the reps, they wouldn't be where they're at, right? And that's what you got to do. You got to focus on putting in the reps. I seen Mr. Beast make a video where he said, make 100 videos, then come to me. After you make 100 videos, try to make every single video better. Each and every single video better. And boom, you might have a chance of hitting 1,000 subscribers. You might have a chance of hitting 10,000 subscribers. But make each video better than the next. And that's one thing that I really want to focus on. Right? I still don't know what kind of content I truly want to post. I don't know if it's just going to be business, if it's just going to be me doing challenges. I really don't know exactly to the T, but we're gonna find out by just posting. We're gonna find out by just staying consistent, right? I changed this whole video topic, but the reason I'm making this video is for the person who was in the position I was in, right? Not knowing what you want to do in life, feeling confused, feeling like, yo, I gotta fit in, right? Feeling like I gotta be cool, right? No, right? I want to let you know you can choose your own path, right? You could do anything you put your mind to, right? You just gotta believe. But the one thing that I want to let you know is, right, because is everybody feels like there's pressure on them, like, yo, I gotta make this shit happen. Oh, I gotta be a millionaire. I gotta be a bro. It's good to, like, it's good to have those goals because those are perfect goals. But like, you gotta enjoy the process while you're trying to hit those goals, right? Not just every single day. Oh, I'm not at $1 million. I don't got the Lambo yet. No, right? Focus on how can I keep building my empire? How can I enjoy building this empire? How can I have fun with this whole process, right? Because that's the number one thing. That's the name of the game. You have to have fun. When you have fun, that's when you win. And if you're not having fun with whatever it is that you're doing, you're just simply not going to win, right? And you might win, but like, you ain't going to win, right? And whenever you do win, you're going to wish you were in the moment more. You're going to wish that you know, were more in the now rather than, oh, I need the $1 million. That's the only thing I'm focused on right now. It's about having fun with the people around you. Like, how can you bring them into what it is that you're doing, and how can you help them in the whole process? Like, how can you really have fun with the shit? Like, that's the number one thing that I think is key, because I'm seeing a lot of these influencers, these famous people come out, and after a while, they reach the goals, they get everything that they want, and now they feel a void. Like, they're like, yo, what's next? I don't know what to do next. Or they're in like these depression states. I don't know if you guys see even what Kai's going through, but like, I wouldn't say he's like super depressed or anything. I think he's finding his new lane, which is fucking amazing, bro. And I feel like that's what a lot of people should do. Like, yo, once you reach this level, it's time to give back. It's time to do something. Like, it's time to pivot. I even seen Tony Robbins and Alex Hormozy talk, and Tony Robbins, the GOAT, GOAT, told Alex Hormozy, "Yo, you're too obsessed, right, with the success you already have. Like, that's why you're not fulfilled right now. That's why you're not, you know, being fun because you're just obsessed with what you already built. It's time to change lanes. It's time to do something that's more fulfilling, right? What will make you fulfilled, right? Is it giving back to your community? Is it giving back to, you know, people who were once in the position you were in? Like, and Tony Robbins was just pretty much telling them, yo, you got to be able to, you got to find something else to enjoy, right? You got to be able to add layers to the success that you already had. Like, doing the same thing over and over again, it does get draining. It does get mentally frustrating after you master it, especially like once you're at the top of the top, like where there's like barely any, like, at that point, like, what else can you do, right? I mean, yeah, you can make more money, but will that truly fulfill you, right? That's pretty much what Tony Robbins was getting at, because I think Alex Hormozy is a billionaire now. I'm not too sure. I think he hit the number. I might be wrong. I might be right. I don't know, but I think he hit the number. So now it's like, what's next? And that's where a lot of people who get successful, that's the step that they hit, is what's next. And you guys will hit that. You just have to be able to get rid of the things that you're doing now, right? So if you're partying, if you're smoking, if you're drinking, you got to find a substitute, right? It's never like get rid of, stop doing it all, because you're going to like slip back into that way of thinking, the habits, if you don't have a substitute, if you don't have something that you can do instead, right? So instead of partying, what you can do is you can start hanging out with people who go to the gym. You can start going to the gym on Saturday nights, right? Or you could start doing Bible studies, right? Instead of partying, right? There's different things that, like, there's different alternatives. You just got to figure out your alternatives. You can, hang out with a whole bunch of content creators. And you guys can just discuss ideas on a Saturday night instead of clubbing, instead of partying, right? There's different ways of going about it, but you really have to be able to substitute what you're currently doing. So if it's partying, if it's drinking, if it's smoking, right, you just got to be able to substitute, right? So substitute smoking with going on a walk, right? Substitute smoking with meditation, right? Just being able to substitute is what's ultimately gonna stop you from even drifting back into that lane. Because there was times where I'm like, yo, I'm bored as fuck, I don't know what to do, let me light up a J, right? But no. What I would then do is I stop myself. I'm like, yo, let me just go on a quick walk, right? And that's one thing, that's one example that you guys can do, and it will truly change, right? Because a lot of people want to give up a habit, right? But like, in order to give up the habit, you gotta substitute it with a good habit, right? So instead of going to sleep late, right, you go to sleep early. As simple as it is, you go to sleep early, right? And instead of hanging out with bad people, you start to hang out with good people, right? And it's the substitute, right? But change is so uncomfortable, because there's gonna be a time where you're like, fuck, I gotta cut off my friends. That's hard, right? And the reality is, like, change is hard, right? But in order to get the life that you want to live, to have the things that you always dreamed of, you got to be willing to get uncomfortable, right? It's just it's the policy of it. It's the price that you pay, is comfort, right? You have to get uncomfortable. The things that you're used to, you got to be like, okay, I'm used to this, but now I got to do something new, right? And this is something that, really, it can hurt you, um but it helps, right? And when I say hurt, like, cutting off your friends is, that's hard, right? Cutting off people who are close to you, not talking to people, it's hard, right? Being like, there's a period of time where you're gonna be lonely. Like, that part is hard. Like, it's just what it is. But you have to go through it in order to change. Like, in order to truly change and rebuild yourself, you have to go through this dark time. All right, and it's gonna be the darkest time of your life. You're not really gonna have people. You're like, you'll still have the ones that truly support you and the ones that you truly love, but the associates, the people that you were hanging out with just to be cool with, they're no longer gonna talk to you. They're probably gonna laugh at you. They're probably gonna look at you funny. They're probably gonna judge you. They're probably gonna do all types of things, call you names, be like, "Oh, he's corny," or "He thinks he's better than us." But in reality, you're trying to build, right? And this is something that a lot of people don't understand. And this is something that's hard for you, right? You're not going to understand it at first, but you'll then realize it's a part of it, right? It's really a part of it. Um, and, once you get through that, right? I call it the dark phase, right? Once you get past the dark phase, you'll see the light. And when you see the light, you'll start connecting with people who align with you, people who God meant to put in your pathway, right? And that's when everything changes. That's when momentum kicks in. That's when consistency kicks in. And that's when the compound effect kicks in. And that's when you really start to win. And yeah, you got to go through the dark. You got to go through hard times in order to succeed. Like, you're going to second guess your decisions. You're going to be like, dang, I should have kept them as friends. You're going to second guess most of your decisions. Dang, I should have went to the club. Dang, I should have went to park. No, you're going to second guess yourself. And it's okay. We all do, right? But at the end of the day, that's the price that you pay. So if you go back into it, I'm just saying, like, one fuck up, like, bro, it could be one small fuck up, like, yo, I'm gonna just go to the club on my birthday. Now it's a habit again. So this is where you got to be careful, with, because it's all mindset, right? It's all mindset. When your mind tells you, yeah, just go back to it, just go back to it, I truly believe it's the devil whispering in your ear. Like, whether you guys believe in God or not, I truly believe that it's not God telling us to do these things. I think it's the devil testing you, right? Saying, "Yo, go back into it, right? Go back into it." But you got to listen to that other voice, which is God telling you, "No, do not do it." All right? But a lot of people are hard-headed and they don't learn. So guess what? They go back into it, and then after being consistent for a month or two, they're back into their old ways, right? It's just what it is. And I truly don't want you guys to be that. And I truly don't want you guys making that mistake, because I've made it, right? I was consistent for a while, and then boom, right? Went back to the old ways, right? Listen to that other voice. Oh, don't get out of bed. No, you got to get out of bed, bro. That's the only way you're going to win. And I just really wanted to make this video for the person was in who's in that position, and I want to let you know, keep going. And you know, if you do everything that I said in this video, there's no way that your life wouldn't change. There's no way that um you wouldn't be living the life that you want to live in the next 2-3 years, right? And I really want to let you know that anything and everything is possible. And I'm going to be living proof, right? I'm not successful yet, but I know I'm going to be successful. And I know I'm going to be able to inspire people. I really, 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 really want to stop the violence and, spread the message that, like, because I lost my father to gun violence, like I said earlier. And it was tough. Well, I don't know if I said that. I don't remember. Did I say that earlier? But I lost my father to gun violence, and it's tough. And I see a lot of kids go through the same path, right? decide to start selling weed because they don't know anything else. They start doing things because they don't know anything else. It wasn't brought into their life. Like they've never seen it done. They've never seen anybody see success with it, right? They're only used to seeing the drug dealers with the nice cars and things. They never seen, right, a young entrepreneur that's in real estate. Like I know a wholesaler. This dude's literally a freak. Well, not a wholesaler. He's creative finance real estate. He's literally a millionaire. Still drives a Toyota Prius. I know one who still drives a Honda, right? And it's crazy, right? Because sometimes the people you don't think are successful, they just don't show. It's wealth, right? They're quiet about it. They're quiet money, right? And we're used to flashy money where I'm from. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm from the hood, but like I grew up around the hood because my pops lived in the hood, my grandma's lived in the hood, and my mom kind of lived in it was like a mixture of the suburbs, hood. I don't know, but I was strictly brought around that, and the kids I used to play football with, the kids that I played sports with, in my little leagues. I now see some of those kids and they're doing the wrong things, right? They're now getting into trouble. I've seen a few go to jail. I seen kids who were literally who grew up around me take that path that I was once on and it didn't end well, right? Dead or in jail, right? For the most, right? Even if it wasn't them, they have friends that they know was either locked up or died, right? I always would look on Snapchat and see, like, it's not funny or anything. It's sad, but I would go on Snapchat and see RIP such and such, right? RIP such and so, free so and so, free da 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 da. Like, and I'm like, dang, man, how can we stop this? It's really, really sad, seeing that. And, I really want to be the person, especially for my community, to bring awareness and let these youngins know. Like, I'm a youngin myself, but I want to let other youngins know, like, that's not the way to go, right? That's not the way to go. Pick you up a camera, take photos, you'll make some money, right? Don't hustle, don't risk your life. It's not worth 10 seconds of crime, like a crime, 20 seconds of a crime, a minute of a crime will cost you your life. It could cost you your whole entire life. You pull that trigger, your life is ruined. And I want these kids to know that. I want you guys to understand. Don't risk your life for a little bit of money. Don't risk your life for to be cool, right? Don't do that, right? Pick you up a camera, start you a business, get you some assets, invest into real estate, pick up the phone, start dialing, calling people, right? Start a business that you like, right? Pick up a podcast, right? People want to it's crazy right now, but if you pick up your phone, people want to hear and see you. People want to know who you are. People are curious on other people's lives, right? And you can really just show your life, and I guarantee you there's probably 20,000 people, 40,000 people, maybe even 100,000 people who's very interested in what it is that you do, right? People are interested in your life, right? And you can build a fan base around that. You could build a community around that. And you can build a community of things that you like to talk about. It could be small topics like books, right? Doing book reviews, right? Doing journal reviews. Like, it could be anything. Travel reviews, right? Food reviews. Like, there's so many ways that you can do this. And, my main goal is to just be the person to stop the violence. I really want to stop the violence. That's really one of my biggest missions. And I eventually want some type of club, like some type of success club that people can go to and get mentorship, right? They can meet high end entrepreneurs, high end content creators, and learn, right? And it's all put in to one thing, and it's helping, and it's changing so many lives. It's creating financial freedom for so many people. It's helping people understand how wealth is created, how success is, how to deal with success, right? Even for the successful people, I want something for them too, right? The ones who make it to the top but just don't know what's next, right? I want something for them too, because I've always been good at dealing with that, right? I would get something that I really wanted for Christmas and still have fun with it and still um be fulfilled with it, right? I'd get a PlayStation and still be fulfilled. I'd get a hoverboard, still be fulfilled. And I think that will never leave me, right? So whenever I'm successful, I feel like I'm gonna be very, very grateful of my success. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably gonna be like, dang, this Louis Vuitton bag or this Louis Vuitton wallet or this Louis Vuitton belt is just an item. Oh well, like, or this Lamborghini's no fun no more. This Rolls Royce isn't fun no more. But it's like, I feel like that's a lot of people. So, you know, anyways, man, that's wrap for this video. If you guys are new and you guys are just checking my channel out, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, like the video. I really want to just keep encouraging people to do better. And I'm still figuring out everything I want to